it's so cool to be able to look at this now. They set it up really well, didn't they? Oh, the music is gorgeous. My Genshin Impact cinematic journey has taken me all the way up to the climax with Focalor and the amazing scenes that happened with Neuvillette and Furina. But I realized there's one scene I've never seen, and it is the teaser for Furina. So I wanted to do something really special today. Let's go back and see what kind of cinematic and narrative hints were dropped in this. And let's see how good the filmmakers were at setting up what was to come for Furina. If you enjoy our time together, please check out some of the other videos we've covered on this channel, the rest of our Genshin Impact journey, and our recent World of Warcraft cinematic journey, which continues tomorrow with Warlords of Draenor. All right, guys, lore masters, join me. Let's see how Genshin retroactively did.
Walks the line between truth and fiction.
Oh, I love it. Already setting up this kind of different layers.
Is fictional. As far as the characters are concerned, their fate is real.
I love it. The question of fate, question of what's real and what's not, what's fact, what's fiction. Really cool. Like diorama.
Therein lies the rub.
And look, there's a shadow behind her, like it's a false background. Yeah.
On the stage.
I love it. Will you decide your fate, or are you just watching?
Nobody can know for sure. After all,
watching it unfold.
Nothing is easier to fool than the senses.
Whoa, it's like smoke and mirrors. Yeah, smoke and mirrors. Everything's
only one
false.
thing for certain, that the prophecy is true. Because in this show, the prophecy is a part of all characters' fate.
So it's so interesting, like how much she knows about her
Don't
fate.
Believe me? So you still haven't noticed that I'm not even speaking to you.
Whoa.
This is just a recording playing in your head.
What? Oh, I love it. There's so much about her character
Now, do you
here.
see?
The tragic
the
nature.
prophecy has come true, and everything has been lost to the great flood.
Her like half humanity, and she just clings to the prophecy. It's all she knows. There's so much going on here that we didn't catch back then, that we wouldn't have caught back then.
And you are the only one I have left.
Wow, it's so cool to be able to look at this now. They set it up really well, didn't they? Oh, the music is gorgeous.
While fate may seem like it's playing cruel jokes on you,
Oh, man.
only fate will not deceive you.
Beautiful. Her tragic existence, just to kind of loop.
Unless you can first deceive.
No way. Did they say it?
Fate itself.
That's what happened at the end. So it's almost like the spirit or the soul of Focalor, like somehow is like bleeding through into her, is getting that idea across. Somehow she's able to kind of feel that notion, that concept, even though she can't act on it, even though she doesn't know what it means fully. Such a cool thing to say. I have to say, I'm very impressed by this. They set it up much more so than I thought they would. And it's funny, after knowing what happens to her, and, you know, kind of victoriously getting to be a human at the end, it's like, you know, you almost think they show too much, but they really don't, because no one could have guessed exactly what happened here. So I think that's almost a skill in itself, is to reveal just enough to kind of set up like narrative themes and a conceptual feeling of what's going to happen with this character, so that it makes perfect sense when you go back and watch it like this. But at the same time, it's not enough to give away any like kind of obvious things that are going to happen. I love it. I thought it was so good. Like I said, if you guys enjoy our time together, make sure to subscribe, make sure to follow on Twitter. Also, we are going to be doing live stream tonight here on YouTube, so get ready for that. It's going to be very fun. And we're soon going to be launching memberships on this channel, which is very exciting. I'll explain more about that soon. And I just want to thank everybody who hopped into the Discord from Genshin, from World of Warcraft. It's been so much fun watching the community develop more, and I appreciate you guys so much. So I want to look at this a little bit in detail. A couple things that I love. I love how, again, it's like hinting at all the themes of Fontaine almost, right? So you have all these ideas of, you know, what's real and what's not. And I remember watching, I think it was the 4.0 trailer that released, and just saying like, oh man, everything's not as it seems in Fontaine. There's going to be a lot of kind of misdirection. Again, the themes of magic, right? Kind of misdirection, dividing attention so you don't see what's really happening and you're completely bamboozled and everything. There's a lot of fun things, even when they have like a magic show in those trailers. And a lot of the characters, like Lynette, right? But I love how there's layers to this. I think it's so fun. It's like, oh, okay, she's just talking to us. Oh, wait, she's on a stage. Okay, she's not really talking to us. This is, you know, like she's revealing like photos of what happened. It's so cool. And then within the photos, she's on a stage. And then look at this. I just caught this. There's a film grain here. Did you see that? Look at that. Do you see that? There's these little artifacts. Almost like you're watching on like a VHS player. That's so interesting. And again, that could be a double layer or a double meaning. On the one hand, it's like, okay, there's another layer. It's like, oh, I'm an audience watching a live performance, right? No, you're watching it recorded. This is not live. We thought it was live, but it's not. Also, it could be like, oh, you're the guy. You're that like mechanical being that she's talking to who has like this recorded image in his brain.
Are you and I the audience?
But either way, it's great. 'Cause it's like, oh, you're an audience. You're watching a thing. No.
Characters on the stage.
So then she pulls away the facade. And again, double meaning. Facade, literally a background that you would use for a stage or, you know, on a set for film. Also facade of her character, of her being.
Nobody can know.
I love the lighting for this too. And again, I want to shout out, we talk about this a lot, sometimes with the teasers or kind of the new version trailers. Genshin uses this kind of live 2D style, which is the same technology that VTubers use, where you'll just kind of have all these different layers that are painted individually and then moved on a rig, on a like animation rigging. It's very interesting.
Nobody can know for sure.
And they seem to just keep getting better at it. It looks more organic, and it seems almost like more unified with the art style in Genshin, which is really fun.
Nothing is easier to fool than the senses.
And this is so cool too. Again, double meaning. On the one hand, it's like smoke and mirrors, right? Smoke and mirrors, there's layers to all this, but this also tells me, of course, like her persona, her half humanity, not able to live as a true human, as we learn, you know, until the end. And it's just like, man, her character has this crack in it. Like there's something missing. There's this tragic nature to it. So, oh man, I love it. So many layers to it. And then again, the smoke and mirrors. Oh, is this, hold on, let's go frame by frame now. Okay. I thought that would have been actually really cool. I would have done this here, is had each of those be like different emotions. I thought that would have been really cool.
We know only one thing for certain.
Only one thing.
That the prophecy is true.
It's interesting that it's like the only kind of truth that she has to cling on to is the prophecy. And then we know that it does come true. So it's just cool that, you know, it does come true, but there's more to the story. And, you know, again, even people in the thing are like, oh, the prophecy wasn't true, but it kind of did still happen. Like Fontaine flooded. So it's interesting.
The prophecy is a part of all characters' fate.
It's kind of a question of fate.
Don't believe me?
And how we interpret.
So you still haven't noticed that I'm not even speaking to you.
Yeah, I love this part too.
This is just a recording playing in your head.
And then this is really cool because then it's almost like that word is like a trigger word that like snaps you out of it. And then you're like, wait, we're underwater. The prophecy already happened. It's like, what? So cool.
Now, do you see?
And what we get from this is with the lighting change, look what happens here, guys. We have a warm stage lighting, pretty much. Spotlight on the left side of her. You know, conveys a performance, essentially, right? Conveys, let's pay attention to her. She's performing. We're an audience. And then this. Look how clever they were here. They have the same lighting style. The subject is lit in the same angle, right? So we have this rim lighting, we call this, when the subject is lit from the side or behind, which just gives a kind of very nice outline of the character and adds to their 3D space, makes them pop a little bit, gives some depth. But it's now underwater. So it's like the whole stage, everything has been flooded. And it also, did you hear the sound design there? Listen. Great sound design. We get this kind of echo, we get this bubbling and everything. It's like you really have been submerged.
Now, do you see? The prophecy has come true.
It's great. And we get this light bloom as if you're underwater, like, can't see the surface and everything. It's awesome.
And everything has been lost to the Great Flood.
I love it. And again, listen to her performance change. In the beginning, it's fun. It's a performance. It's on stage performance. And now it's just you and me. It's already flooded. We're just drowning down here. And it's like, whoa, really depressing feeling. Resigned feeling. And I think that's what's so interesting here is she has this feeling of resignation to her fate. This half humanity, this lack of knowing what's going on. And then
And you are the only one I have left.
again,
And
this
you
effect of like a VHS player skipping or something.
are the only
So cool. Like I'm looking at a CRT
one I
screen.
have left.
And the music it's beautiful. It's tragic. There's a longing to it. You're the only one I have left. And it's this mechanical being. It's not a person. She has existed for, I believe it was 500 years. 500 years and just cannot cling on to anything. Because she also doesn't
And
know the full
so,
picture of her
while
purpose.
Fate may seem like it's playing cruel jokes on you.
Beautiful. And I love as we zoom out, it's like, oh man, there's seaweed growing here. The flood happened a long time ago. This isn't like it just happened. Everything's growing underwater. It's been like 100 years.
Only fate will not deceive you.
I think that's so cool. That's so smart. Only
Unless
fate will not deceive you
you
unless.
can first deceive
And look,
fate itself.
and look. She's crying on the throne, which is, only Furina remains crying upon her throne. This is what happened, and this is what they talked about. Beautiful. And I love how at the very end here, she sort of breaks the fourth wall. There's a lot of breaking of the fourth wall, as we call it in this, but also in this case,
Fate itself.
she looks at the camera at the end. It doesn't feel like she's talking to the mechanical being anymore. Notice there's no more VHS effect. It looks like she's talking to me. It looks like she's talking to us, right? She's talking to the player, and that's so smart here. I love that. There's also one more thing I want to touch on I forgot to say. Right here, she says,
Therein lies the rub.
therein lies the rub, which is a reference to Hamlet, Shakespeare's Hamlet, and the to be or not to be speech. Boom, another sort of awesome reference, dual reference, because number one, she's on the stage. It's a play reference, but there's this whole thing in Hamlet of a play within a play. It's actually the characters perform a play at one point in Hamlet. So smart to apply this to this scenario when there's layers to it. There's a play within a video, within a game that we're watching currently, super cool. And it's a recording of a play that's happening in a video game. It's awesome. It's kind of an interesting idea if you think about it like that. We're watching.
Are you and I the audience, or characters on the stage?
Like we're many layers deep into media at this point. We're watching a YouTube video about a character from a video game who's in a play, who's actually giving a false play, and so it's so fun when you think about it like that. So, what better way to kind of touch on the absurdity of this than referencing Hamlet?
The prophecy is true.
Love it. Oh my goodness.
Now,
I love it. And this is, of course, my favorite part. I think it's everybody's favorite part. Like, literally says most played on YouTube.
and you.
Look at this. I mean, let's just listen to the music one more time.
I have left.
What a beautiful way. I'm really glad we didn't cover this yet. Because to me, it's like,
And so, while fate may
full
seem
circle.
like it's playing cruel jokes on you,
it's come full circle, hasn't it?
only fate will not deceive you.
Wow. I love it. There's some great transitions here, too. Like, that edit was really solid.
Deceive you.
It's a refraction. It's a mirror that we're watching inside a bubble. So fun. Yeah.
Unless
And like I said, it's like, wait, at the end, is this all just her dreaming? Is this all her dreaming on the throne at the end?
you can
Or daydream?
first deceive fate itself.
Like, what's happening here? And it is still implied that she's underwater there at the end of everything
Fate
because of the
itself.
way her clothes are kind of ruffling, floating in the deep. But wild. This was so much fun. I wondered, I was like, should I do this? I don't know how it's going to work out. I love it. This was so fun. And man, maybe we should do this for more stuff with Genshin. Kind of like go back and see, what kind of hints did they drop for these big twists? So I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. This was something a little bit different, I actually wanted to do the teaser and there kept being awesome new scenes coming out. I was, ooh, let's do those first. But I'm really glad I waited. This was so sort of invigorating, and it's really fun to see the care that the filmmakers put into stuff like this, and almost, I guess the hints would be the word, to try and give us ways to, you know, crack the code and put the puzzle pieces together. I had a great time. I hope you guys did as well. Make sure to subscribe, follow on Twitch, Twitter, all the stuff. Please join the Discord. The links are all over the place. They're in the description and the top comment and everything. Guys, thank you so much. Live stream coming tonight. Can't wait for it. I'll see you guys around town. Thank you.